Hi everybody, welcome back. It's October 14th, 2022, and obviously we're back on the moon today. This is a picture taken by a fellow by the name of Neven Kameric, and he's from Croatia. And he said he took this picture on a clear night, and then he enhanced it for color. That he said that these colors are on the moon already. He just enhanced them. And those colors represent the elements of titanium and iron. This is what Neven says. That's very interesting. So we have two pictures here, and actually I have three, but the third one is a little unrelated. Well, it's the moon, but it's not the emphasis. So we're going to be looking at three craters here. One is Tycho, the other is Copernicus, and the other is Kepler. And mostly we're going to be looking at Copernicus and Tycho. And Tycho's the one down at the bottom with the two long streaks. And it was obviously a huge impact. It's got regolith going in all directions, right? And in particular in those two lines. But as you know, or if you've been following my channel, things of course aren't always as they seem. So here is the picture, the first picture, close-up of Tycho crater, and take a look at the crater and the center of the crater there. You can see very clearly see a ring of buildings. And this is what you're going to see throughout all these pictures. And we've seen it before. The craters are all part of the grand illusion. Everything here is a grand illusion. Now, what we're doing here at first with these pictures of Tycho is we're comparing them and seeing the same structures from two different pictures. That's critically important, because if it's a one-off picture and you're showing something fantastic, it could be whatever. Anybody could say whatever. We need to back it up. So we found this other picture, and this is the picture we're using in this picture is from a previous video, and it's from a completely different angle. One was kind of from coming down from the 2 o'clock position, and this is coming down to about the 7 o'clock position. So completely different angle, but nonetheless we can still see the structures that are the same. And also you can see it, it's circled here. Now it does look different, but that's because it's from a completely different angle. So I think this nails it for me, that these two separate pictures both have the same things in them. Okay, buildings, right? And not just in this little area that I circled, but everywhere else as well. So you know, I don't know how we how we go forward, right? Is this I guess it's proven right now that it's verified that these things are there, but it's impossible that these things are there, right? It's just not possible. And as we go further along, you'll see that it's not just in these little areas that I'm showing. It's the entire surface of the moon is covered with buildings, according to these pictures. And not just the pictures in this video, but several videos leading up to this one. So what's the story here? Are the pictures, there's only a couple choices. One is that I've faked everything. Thank you very much. I'm certainly not that skilled. I don't have that much time. I don't have time enough anyway, working a full-time job. And I'm working 40 hours a week, and then I come home and I do this for 30 to 40 hours a week or more. So it's almost like another job, but I'm not skilled enough. I only manipulate, contrast, exposure, brightness, these types of things that affect the grayscale. That's all I do. So we have these pictures that are impossible, that show pictures of images of buildings all over. So if it's not faked, then it's real. But it's still impossible, right? I'm confused. Do I sound confused? I completely am. On one hand, I'm convinced of what I see in these pictures. On the other hand, it's impossible, right? I'm no different than everybody else. There are a lot of things I've shown in the past couple of years. If somebody would have come to me and told me these things, I would have laughed them out of the room. But here I am. Now I'm the one presenting these pictures, and there's no explanation for it. You could say they're pixels, and indeed we do see pixels, but pixels are not the answer. Pixels don't align in circles or come down from angles from the sides or this kind of thing. So it's not pixels. So what is it? What's the truth? The truth is what I'm always looking for. And I present it as best I can with the time that I have. And I just really don't know the answer. Speaking of truth, it reminds me of Arthur Schopenhauer, the 17th century, 18th century German philosopher, who said that truth must go through three stages. One is ridicule. The second is it's violently opposed. And the third is it is accepted as being self-evident. Well, these things seem self-evident to me. And it's not just the fact that these pictures are showing structures, but if they were just random, that would be different. We're talking about civilization. And in civilization, we have to have, geometry, the way things are laid out, repeatability, all of the things that describe civilization are seen in these pictures. So we have civilization, we have repeatability. So it's all real to me, but it's impossible. This just cannot be. How could it be that we have literally thousands and thousands of telescopes and all the pictures of the moon, and we're going to go land there again, and we crashed something on the moon recently? How can that be? None of this makes sense. So from the person on the outside who's never seen any of my videos, who started watching this one, would say, well, somehow he's faked all this. It's since it can't be real, the only other explanation is that it's not real, which means I guess that it's faked. I don't know. It's a tough one. So I do the best I can to show you these different pictures, different looks, certain things to look at, and I guess you just gonna have to make up your own mind whether you think it's real or not. I know I do. So anyway, this is the very center of Copernicus crater right here. It's an incredible, cool grouping of larger buildings, larger than others in the area, quite a bit larger, I'd say. And there are other structures around that are also very, very tall. Right down in front, coming up from the 5-6 o'clock position, you can see some there in this gray area. And that's another thing, you know, this being the gray scale, it definitely makes things harder to see, especially when you get so much of it in this medium gray color, which is the hardest color to shade, the hardest shade to bring out. So you have to spend some time and look. And here is a grouping of taller buildings. I only have 2 pointers there, but there's a few more in there. There's also another one here that looks like a large cylindrical building with an opening or a window or whatever that is up there. But this is the way all of the craters look. There's, you know, from a distance you see the bright white in the middle and the regolith as it spreads out. And in every case, the bright white is a grouping of bright white buildings, and the regolith is lighter colored buildings that are spreading out. So again, it's all just part of this grand illusion, this impossible illusion. You know, what was that magician's name? Copperfield, you know, or any of these other ones who make elephants disappear. This is my pink elephant here, I guess, right? But how do you do that, you know? Or how do you have a globe, not unlike all the other globes in our solar system, completely covered with buildings right next to us, with all eyes on it at all times, and still don't see what's there? I don't know. And furthermore, and I've asked this question before on all my work, why me? How come I'm the only one that sees this, or that looks closely enough, you know? I've tried a lot to get a hold of these other tubers, and you know, they just ignore, I guess. I don't know. I'm not trying to promote my channel at all. I'm trying to promote truth. And there's so much here to see, and we could all be showing this and others, especially the stuff from the Worldwide Telescope. We would all have enough material to make videos for the next 10 years. Okay, there's so much stuff here. There's enough to go around for everybody. So, you know, we need to get these other tubers in on this so we can get the truth out. I think I mentioned before, what I'd like to do is I'd like all of us tubers who are doing this kind of work to make videos of the moon, preferably from the Worldwide Telescope because of its amazing nature, and put a video out all on the same day. I think that would be so impactful. But anyway, I haven't been able to reach them. So it's up to you guys to keep hammering away on these other tubers and tell them to go to the Worldwide Telescope and to you know, have them come over and take a look at some of the stuff I have, I guess. Again, I'm not trying to promote my channel, but if these guys, these other tubers are, you know, don't know what you're talking about, then have them come over and take a look at some of this stuff. And pretty sure they'll all be amazed, just like I am. I was going to say like I was, but I'm always amazed. I never stop being amazed. I never stop being perplexed. And I never stop asking the questions. how is this possible, first of all, and why me? How come I'm the only one that I know of that is finding this kind of thing? I just don't know, other than Ben Pellom and the Worldwide Telescope, and you know, he's the one that started it. He's the one that got me back into the moon, and I'm sure glad that he did, because there's a lot of truth going on here, a lot. So I hope that that y'all will just follow along and just keep taking it in. You know, the most important thing, I think, for viewers, especially new viewers, is to know that, you know, you can't just watch one video or a few minutes of a video or scan through a few pictures. It's not going to do anything at all for you. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of education, and that education just comes in the form of a lot of pictures and a little bit of time watching them. By the way, here are in this area of the moon, in this picture, it's very, very difficult to show, but there's all sorts of little craters around there. But check out all these craters. Every one of them has something in them. They're all artificial. This bright white area, it was so difficult to show because there's a lot of reflection off these buildings, and then you have a lot of shadow, and when you have that kind of contrast right next to each other, it's really difficult to show. But you can see these craters. They definitely have structures in the middle of them, and there's quite a few of them. You know, this particular photograph, of course, is just this side of the moon, but you know it's all the way around. It's not just on the TV side. It goes on both sides. So, I mean, common sense would tell you that anyway, right? But then again, none of this makes any sense at all. Coming down from the 11 o'clock position, it looks like it says 1969 there. Do you see that? A 19 above the 69. It looks just like 1969, which, you know, is the same year that we supposedly landed on the moon. I hate to say it that way, but anyway, that's my feeling based on what I've seen. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.